New York Yankees baseball is brought to you in part by Continental Airlines, the official airline of the New York Yankees. By Samsung, excellence is within everything we create. And by Dodge, grab life by the horns. Dodge. Traffic like you would not believe here in Los Angeles today. Father's Day weekend and the Yankees are in town. It's usually a late arriving crowd. Jason Giambi said if they're that into this series, maybe they'll show up on time.
Yeah, you could look out over the center field fence here, over the left field pavilion, and see them streaming in yet, but they'll all be here by top of the second.
Moments ago, Fernando Valenzuela, one of the greats in Dodger history, threw out the first pitch. He didn't look skyward like he did when he was the Rookie of the Year and the Cy Young Award winner, but he got it there.
I'll tell you what, Michael, it was a treat for me as you see Fernando there in the booth doing the broadcasting on the Dodger Spanish network to be an active player during Fernando Mania and see what an attractive pitcher he was.
Well, the Dodgers have taken the field. Now we are ready for baseball on a beautiful Southern California night. Let's take a look at the Yankees lineup put together by Joe Torre and presented to you by Rico. Bernie Williams, the center fielder, will lead off. Batting second and playing shortstop, Derek Jeter. Alex Rodriguez will play third base, and he will bat third. Batting cleanup and playing first base is Jason Giambi. Great numbers against his former teammate, starter Jeff Weaver. Gary Sheffield, a former Dodger, will be in right field. He'll bat fifth. Batting sixth and catching, Jorge Posada. Hideki Matsui's in left field, batting seventh. The number 8 hitter is the second baseman, Miguel Cairo. And Javier Vasquez will pitch, and he'll bat ninth for the Yanks.
Jeff Weaver will start for the 14th time. Don't let the record fool you. 4-7. He has pitched much better than that. If you talk to most of the Dodger people, they'll tell you the record ought to be reversed. Should be 7-4. Pitcher scouting report is brought to you by Jeep, and we'll check it out. He is better than the 4-7. One of the reasons he's using his fastball a lot more this year. The numbers at the bottom, as Michael mentioned about Jason Giambi, well, if you add Alex Rodriguez and Derek Jeter along with Jason Giambi, they are 22 for 44 with 6 home runs against Jeff Weaver. That'll be a big challenge for him tonight.
Let's take a look at the Dodger defense that will be behind Jeff Weaver. You've got Dave Roberts in left field, Milton Bradley in center, and Juan Encarnacion over and right. In the infield, you've got Beltre, Izturis, Cora, and Green. And Green won the Gold Glove in 1999 in the outfield. And Paul LaDuca is behind the plate with Jeff Weaver on the mound. New York Yankees baseball is broadcast in Spanish. It's available by hitting the SAP button on your television. SAP is brought to you by Toyota with 17 models, which is perfect for you. So sit back and enjoy this one. It should be fun. The Yankees against the Dodgers. So much history in those uniforms. The faces and the names are different, but the history remains the same. Bernie Williams will dig in. Alex Rodriguez waits a chance to be part of that history, and we are almost ready for baseball here at Dodger Stadium. Bernie has reached safely in 10 of the last 15 innings in which he has led off. He also has a 10-game hitting streak. There's a line drive to right field. Now he has an 11-game hitting streak. He has been a different player since moving into the leadoff spot. 5 straight games leading off and getting on base.
Well, just in case the Dodgers are listening to Bernie's philosophy, he said, I take a lot of pitches, try to give the other guys a look. Crossed him up tonight. He swung at the first pitch. Got a fastball from Weaver up and away. Right in his eyes where he could pull it and start the game off again with a base hit.
You think Bernie could be that Machiavellian that he said that to the writers yesterday and hope the Dodgers would give him a fastball early?
No, I don't think so.
Derek Jeter digs in with Bernie leading off first. And Derek bunts right back to Weaver. He's going to go to second for 1. And that's all they'll get. Weaver decided immediately he could get the force. It was not a good bunt by Jeter.
I think Derek actually trying to bunt for a base hit. And Weaver, as LaDuca, I'm sure, told him, pick it up, throw it to second. You got him by plenty.
Derek does that so much in the first inning, and Joe Torre actually told me one time when Derek did it in New York City, He said, I'd rather Derek swing away, especially the way he's swinging the bat in the first inning. He said, but he's bunting for a base hit. He's not trying to sacrifice, but still, why bunt when you swing the bat so well? He was 20 for his last 46.
And he's hit Weaver quite well. In fact, he's hit Weaver very well.
Here's Alex Rodriguez. 1-0. Rodriguez has reached base safely in 53 straight games. And see his numbers there against Weaver. There's a strike called by home plate umpire Doug Eddings.
Alex nods in agreement, and it's an example of what Weaver has done better this year than he did last year as a Yankees, running that sinking fastball in on the hands of the right-hand hitters.
Jeff Weaver came over to the Yankees in a deal with the Tigers, but while people knew that his stuff was electric, he just seemed ill-suited. Language on the mound. He was not accepted right away by the fans because he wasn't accepted. Because he wasn't actually good at what he was doing. He was really failing quite a bit, and the crowd never really embraced him. Fouled away. You could turn on a game, not see the score, and just see the way Jeff Weaver was standing on the mound, whether he was getting hit or not.
There's a bio on him. #1 pick of the Tigers. His brother went in the first round this year as a pitcher.
Little fastball by him upstairs, and Rodriguez goes down on strikes.
Oh, he mentioned in the scouting report, better use of the fastball. That's a hanging slider that misses. Nice moving fastball there for a strike. Alex misses a pretty hittable pitch right there. And you see the movement on Jeff Weaver's fastball. He could pitch a game, and his best games last year with the Yankees were games that he threw exclusively fastballs, not exclusively, and just a few changeups, very few curveballs.
Here's Jason Giambi. He's in a slump. He's 2 for his last 23. His average has dipped to 242. Now, the Dodgers do not shift as much as most teams against Giambi. It seems the National League teams do not put 3 guys on the right side of the infield. The shortstop, Cesar Esteuris, is still on the shortstop side of the bag. Dodger manager Jim Tracy.
Boy, that's an early move by Paul LaDuca. I mean, first of all, Giambi, even though he's been in a slump and you see those numbers, you couldn't tell Jeff Weaver that. Jason Giambi has 7 hits against Jeff Weaver, 5 of them home runs. But, boy, when you get a catcher move this early, it gives you a pretty good indication what they're going to try to do to you. He's already moved. You know, they had one of the great peakers here for years, Steve Garvey. You know, he'd see a catcher like that. He'd put his finger up in his eye like he had a cinder in his eye. He'd look back at the catcher and try to pick up location, which there's certainly nothing wrong with that. And if you're Jason Giambi right now and you see a catcher move early like that, gives you a big advantage. Knows what half of the plate you have to protect.
Now, can the batter just feel it, or does he have to peek? Can you see it peripherally without looking back?
I think for a catcher moving that early and moving outside, I think you could see it. You know, some of the great old cagey catchers, the late Johnny Roseboro, who caught here, he was famous for he'd sit out there, but then he'd trick you. He'd move back inside the last minute.
Hard ground ball to second base. Right there is Alex Cora, and that'll do it here in the first inning as the Yankees do not score. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. Yankees nothing, and the Dodgers coming to bat. As we keep focus on the game, let's take a look at the Dodgers starting lineup that is going to face Yankee starter Javier Vasquez. And the lineup is brought to you by Rico. Dave Roberts in left field will lead off. Batting second and playing shortstop, Cesar Izturis. Milton Bradley in center field will bat third. The cleanup hitter is our first baseman, Sean Green. Paul LaDuca will catch. He'll bat fifth. Batting sixth and playing third base, Adrian Beltre. And he leads the team in home runs and RBIs. Juan Encarnacion's in right field, batting seventh. Batting eighth and playing second base is Alex Cora. And Jeff Weaver will pitch, and he'll bat ninth.
And they'll bat against Javier Vasquez. Like Weaver, he's starting for the 14th time. Record just the opposite. 7-4. Nice numbers. Less than a hit per inning. Outstanding control. Check out the scouting report on Javier, brought to you by Jeep. His last 6 starts, 4-0 with a 2.63. Seems to be getting better with each start, and he is in control. He's got almost 7 strikeouts for every walk, and he's got a lot of options. We talk about Weaver using mostly fastballs. Vasquez can strike you out with a fastball, a curve, a change, and occasionally even a slider. A lot of weapons.
Vasquez is ready. And Dave Roberts digs in. Want to keep him off the bases. He has 21 stolen bases. Yankees guarding against the bunt. You can see A-Rod is in shallow at third.
Well, when you look at the Dodger lineup and you compare it to the Yankee, and not disrespectful, but how many players in the Dodger lineup would start for the Yankees? There's a couple of guys out there that they've seen in the American League that, wouldn't be starting for the Yankees, like Dave Roberts and Juan Encarnacion. They don't have the firepower, but they still win their share of games with 5 runs because they can manufacture.
That one's hit deep to right field. Going back is Sheffield. And on the track, he'll put it away, 1 down. Let's take a look at the entire Yankee defensive schematic. You know that Sheffield's in right, Bernie Williams in center, and Hideki Matsui over in left. You've got Alex Rodriguez at third, Derek Jeter in short, Miguel Cairo plays second, Jason Giambi is the first baseman, Posada behind the plate, and Javi Vasquez, who's tough to steal against, he is on the mound. Here is Izturis. Switch hitter batting from the left side. And there's the strike.
A lot of speed. And Jim Tracy, his manager, says he's an improving hitter game by game.
He could always field his position. Yankees first saw him in Dunedin when he was with the Blue Jays and played in the spring training game. Made about 6 outstanding plays in 1 spring training game. Ended up getting traded to the Dodgers. They didn't know if he would hit enough to be an everyday shortstop in the big leagues. Now when he slaps into left center field, Bernie Williams giving chase. He can't get there, and it gets past him. He regains quickly, but Izturis is on second with a double.
Well, the Dodgers lead the National League in hitting. That's one of the reasons why the improving Izturis. Bernie Williams tries to make a diving catch. Did well to get leather on it, but with his speed, no chance to keep him from getting a double. Bernie did well to keep it from going all the way to the warning track where it would bet a triple or maybe even an inside the park.
Here's Milton Bradley. And that ball got Bradley on the foot. He was squaring the bunt, and he will take first base.
He bunted at it, though. I think the Yankees are going to appeal and say, well, he hit him, but he bunted at it. Which, first of all, is surprising if you're the number 3 hitter and a man on second. Your job is usually to knock him in. I think from that shot there, he did pull the bat back. See right there, it looks like he's going to bunt it, and he pulls it back. Maybe he's going to do that just to get a look at a pitch.
They could call something else on that, Jim. If you look, his foot was almost on home plate. You can't have your body over the plate in the strike zone. Here's Sean Green. Which is inside. Green came up with the Blue Jays. Traded to the Dodgers in November of 1999. Grew up in this area. It's a high fly ball to right center field. Bernie Williams is there. 2 away. Both runners tag. Milton Bradley's going for second, and he's in there. So you can see the scouting report run on Bernie.
Right, and one of the ways the Dodgers will score their 5 runs, they're not apt to hit 5 solo homers like the Yankees, but they do it with plays like this. This ball's hit into the deepest part of center field. Bernie with not a particularly strong arm, and Bradley with good speed. Nice aggressive base running gives the Dodgers now 2 men in scoring position. Cairo thought he might have had him. And you see him just get the leg in before the tag.
Not a bad throw by Bernie Williams. 2 outs, second and third. Here's LaDuca. And the breaking ball is a strike. LaDuca is from Brooklyn. So this time the Dodgers went to Brooklyn to pull out a catcher. Count 0-2.
Get a look at Vasquez's options when he's in trouble. Good curveball, then a change. And LaDuca, one of the better hitters. He doesn't know what to expect. Vasquez still has 2 more pitches he can go at him with.
He struck him out. So Vasquez battles through some problems and keeps the Dodgers off the board. No runs ahead, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We've played 1 here at Dodger Stadium. Yankees and the Dodgers are scoreless. Back here at Dodger Stadium, no score after 1. Jim, I have a question to ask you. Who's the guy on the right standing next to you?
Boy, I don't know. Some young Jewish left-hander that had some success out here on the West Coast, but that's a shot from Metropolitan Stadium probably before Game 2. No, that was Game 7 because that's Lou Johnson who hit the home run. That's the only run that Sandy needed. They won that game 2-0.
That was a great World Series.
See, and you get an idea when you look at the Dodgers, and that was the Twins, but you could also compare them to the Yankees, the 2004 Yankees. It's like this year's Yankees. The Twins had a lot of power, but the Dodgers had great pitching, and that's how the Dodgers win this year. They have their starters have been a little shaky, nothing like Sandy Koufax did here for years, but their bullpen's outstanding.
Sheffield lofts one to left field, shallow. Esturris is there in foul territory. 1 away. And Jim, you ended up becoming pretty good friends with Sandy Koufax.
Still
right?
am. Live in the same area. Sandy lives down in part-time in Vero Beach, Florida. Best I've ever seen during my baseball lifetime. He was in a class by himself.
When you gave up the 1 run, did you think that's it?
Pretty much. The very first game, that's what Sandy did in '63 when that was sort of his coming out year against the Yankees in the World Series. 63, 4, 5, and 6. The 4 years he put together. You ever take the time to add them up, it's phenomenal. In fact, because he won the Cy Young Award in '65 and '66 is the reason they started giving 1 in each league starting in '67. And nobody else could get it away from him.
You would have won it one of those years, right?
'66 probably, yeah.
Well, he should saw that one in half then. One away here in the top of the second inning. Yankees and the Dodgers scoreless. And Posada slices one the other way foul.
Well, you look at this ballpark and it hasn't changed. The only thing that's changed that really shocked me was the NBA-like introductions with the, I mean, I can't see Bob Shepard saying, "And here come your 2004." Yeah, I just can't see that. And the Dodgers never. And the Dodgers have changed their style a little bit.
That one is wrapped to right center field. Giving chase is Encarnacion. He can't get there. It's up against the wall. Posada goes for 2, and the throw is not in time. 1-out double for Jorge Posada.
Well, let's see what the pitch was. It said that Jeff has used his fastball a lot better this year. I think that was a changeup. I don't think it was a curve. It looked like either it was a slow curve or a change. It just kind of hung right there. Posada did a nice job keeping the hands back.
Posada got a long look at a lot of those balls being hit like that last year from Weaver. Especially the pitch up in the zone off speed. Whether it be a changeup or a curve. Usually he kept the curveball upstairs a little.
That can happen with scouting reports. Team like the Yankees comes in and they got all that home run power, and you go over them in the meetings and you say, well, this guy's a good fastball hitter. Well, sure. They're all good fastball hitters, but if you throw them a good fastball in a good location, you still get them out a high percentage of the time.
On the bus ride to the ballpark, you go through a lot of neighborhoods around Dodger Stadium, and the neighborhood closest to the stadium, there's a kid that's walking out of a fast food restaurant. He's got this gigantic mohawk, about 3 feet up in the air. And Matsui goes, oh my. Everybody looked at him. Fights it off the other way and hits it deep to left field. Roberts is there on the track, and he puts it away for the second out. Tagging is Posada. He'll get there. So a long, long out for Matsui, and there are 2 away.
Now batting, second baseman, number 41, Miguel Cairo.
Well, so far it's the Dodger Stadium I remember, because a couple of those balls hit already looked like they were hit pretty well. But at Dodger Stadium in the evening, when it's a little cool and the air's a little heavy, you have to catch it pretty flush to get it out of here. Not going to give up many cheapies here. Unbelievable that this place opened back in 1962, 42 years ago.
And it's the 4th oldest park.
Yeah.
And Yankee Stadium was remodeled starting in the 76 season, so it's probably the 3rd oldest park. Pitch to Cairo is a strike. But it's immaculate inside. And as Jim said, though, they've changed a lot of things. They've made the music extraordinarily loud. There's a plaque here at Dodger Stadium commemorating Henry Aaron's final home run. Number 755. He didn't hit 755. He was with the Brewers for 755. So that was his final home run here at Dodger Stadium. Cairo's been red hot. He has a 6-game streak going, 13 for his last 36. But he doesn't get a hit there as Weaver whispers across the outside corner for the final out of the inning. So Posada's double is wasted. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 2nd. Yankees nothing, Dodgers nothing. Dodger baseball. There's one voice of Dodger baseball. That's Mr. Vin Scully. That's all they've ever known. He left Fordham University, graduated from Fordham, and stepped right into the press box at Ebbets Field. And Vin Scully, through the years, 55 years behind the microphone for the Brooklyn and the Los Angeles Dodgers before the game. Jim Cott stopped by to have some words with the legendary Hall of Famer, Mr. Vin Scully. Amazing, 55 years.
I tell you, it wouldn't be fair to come to Dodger Stadium and not say hello to Vin. I mean, he's in a class by himself. There's the resume. Inducted into the Hall of Fame in '82, graduated from your school '49. They dedicated that press box to him a few years ago. And, you know, we sit up here, Michael, and look at the pictures and just talk a little bit about what's going on. That's, you know, that's easy. That's legalized robbery. But you know from being in that other booth in radio, now that takes some talent. I think, to do to paint the pictures over the air on radio. And I don't know that there's anybody that's ever done it any better than Vin Scully.
And what a voice, and the way he tells stories. He's called 25 World Series, 18 no-hitters, 3 perfect games. And when he's on the air, he works alone.
Right?
Nobody hands Picasso his paint. The 1-1. Foul back. I was thinking as I was coming into Dodger Stadium and said, wow, Scully's done this 55 years. I only have 42 more.
There you go.
Yeah. Line drive, base hit. Nice hitting there by Adrian Beltre as he leads off the second with a single.
Pitch was up and away, up in his eyes where he could see it, get his arms extended. Favoring that tender left ankle. Doesn't bother his hitting.
Here's Juan Encarnacion. Been on a hot streak of late, 21 for 57. Juan Encarnacion, I don't know if you were doing that game, Kitty, hit the longest home run I've ever seen at Yankee Stadium. Hit a home run into the left center field bleachers. I've never seen anybody in all the games I've seen at Yankee Stadium do that.
No question. He hit it off for Miro Mendoza, and I said the same. As soon as I see him come up, the first thing that comes to mind is that he hit one of the longest home runs in Yankee Stadium I've ever seen.
Almost another area code out there, the left center field bleachers.
Boy, you're right about the music here. They've turned this place into the Staples Center.
Well, you know what they did? They Foxified it when Fox owned the place.
That does not seem right.
It's like rock music at the Louvre.
Man. You see what Vasquez goes through in the early innings. And, you know, we talk about this rivalry, and it's almost like the two teams involved here in 2004 seem secondary to the rivalry. But it is an important ball game, and Vasquez early in this one, as he is in a lot of his starts, a little more deliberate, a little more tentative. Once he gets a couple innings under his belt, then he begins to roll at a little quicker pace, throws more strikes.
Count now 3-2. Alex Cora is on deck. They're still filing in here to Dodger Stadium. It is the bottom of the second inning. The place is sold out, but there are scattered empty seats throughout as people try to make their way through the traffic here in L.A. Runner goes. Pitches a strike. The throw to second is caught on a hop by Cairo. And the rundown doesn't do any good for Beltre as he is gunned down and a double play. So strike him out, throw him out, double play.
Second baseman.
Nice
Number
play
13,
by Cairo.
Alex Cora.
3-2 pitch. Beltre off. Sees he can't make it, tries to get caught in a rundown. And here's the nice play as Posada comes up throwing, but Miguel has to make a nice pick on that one hopper.
And there's a strike. No stolen bases in his last 175 innings against Vasquez. Beltre keeps that streak alive. Lost a fly ball to center field. Bernie Williams is there, and he'll put it away for the final out of the inning. No runs a hit, no errors, and because of the double play, nobody left on base. We played 2 at Dodger Stadium. Yankees and the Dodgers are scoreless.
For the majors, they have to master the minors. From Columbus to Trenton to Staten Island, minor league baseball is back on Yes. Monday at 7. It's the home opener for the Staten Island Yankees as they cut down the Williamsport Crosscutters. Only on Yes.
We go to the third inning at Dodger Stadium. Interleague matchup between the Yankees and the Dodgers. First regular season game between these legendary rivals. And Javier Vasquez leads off, and the pitch is outside. Now, they met in the World Series 11 times, the Yankees winning 8 of them. The Dodgers winning in 1955, 1963, and 1981. But they lost so many times to the Yankees, that's where they came up with the phrase, wait till next year. That one is lined into right center field, and it could be trouble. It is trouble, and it goes to the wall. Javier Vasquez will dig for second. He'll be there with a leadoff double.
Hanging breaking ball. New York fans are saying, yeah, I thought Jeff had kind of stayed away from that from what I've heard. But 2 of the 3 hits he's given up tonight have been on that same pitch, in that one to the pitcher. See, they're playing him rather shallow.
So Vasquez in scoring position. His last double was about 3 years ago. Bernie Williams has seen 2 pitches. He swung at them both. One a single right. That one he fouls back. Bernie's hot streak, 11 straight games, has taken up to 271 now. And he started off so painfully slow. There's a strike. Yankees really did have such high hopes for Weaver. I know that they were thrilled when they were able to get him from the Tigers. But again, he never put it all together. And you wonder, was he a flawed pitcher with the Tigers? Did New York set him back? Did the pressure affect him adversely? Because, Jim, the stuff is there. The 0-2. Way inside. Bernie gets out of the way. And that allows Vasquez to go to third.
Yeah, the arm is there. The stuff is there. I don't know if the knack for pitching is there yet. Might still get there. I mean, this pitch isn't even close. And you also wonder, a guy that young and with that good an arm that was a #1 draft pick for an organization like the Tigers, why did they trade him away that quickly? Sometimes, an organization sees things when a player is on their team that you don't see as a visiting player. But there's no question he's got a live arm. He's got enough stuff to be a winning pitcher in the big leagues.
1-2. Just missed. Weaver wanted that one. So did the crowd. Never had a winning season with Detroit, but you could see glimpses of greatness in 0-2 before he was traded to the Yankees at 3.18 ERA. But last year he really struggled in the Bronx. And the count 3-2. Mel did a lot of work with Weaver, and so he knows exactly what's going out there on the mound right now.
It's Jim Colburn, the Dodger pitching coach.
Weaver deals the 3-2. Slow roller, third base side, but foul. Yankees in the second series of a 3-city road trip. And that one is lined to center field. Coming on is Bradley. He dives. Can't make the play. Here comes Vasquez. He'll score. That's an RBI single for Bernie Williams. Yankees on the board. They lead 1-0.
Nice effort by Milton Bradley. Dives and tries to sell it to the umpire. Did a good job just keeping it from going past him. But clearly he trapped that one. Bernie picks up another hit, and the Yankees get their first run. And a disappointed Jeff Weaver.
So Bernie's 2 for 2. And Vasquez scores the first run of the game. That one is loped into right field, and that is going to dunk in for a base hit. Bernie advances to second.
Another high curveball. You know, it's not hit well, but when you throw a breaking ball and you leave it up and in like that, you can't really feel sorry for yourself. That was not a good pitcher's pitch. You know, Weaver kind of hung his head after that.
Why is that feather in his cap?
It's is it a feather? Is a little piece of his blonde hair? I guess it's a feather. Maybe they've won. They've been on a good streak. Yeah. All right.
Well, if he could straighten out Weaver this year, that is a feather in his cap. Well, Coburn back in the dugout and Alex Rodriguez at the plate. First and second, nobody out. Yankees lead 1-0. And the pitch. Fastball inside.
You know, I didn't get to hear whether they did their roll call, but I came in today to the L.A. airport with the bleacher creatures.
Really?
A lot of them here. Yeah, a lot of them here from New York for this series, and they said they were going to try to do their customary roll call before. I think there was at least 15 to 18 of them there in the airport, and more were going to join them.
Count 1-1. Alex struck out in the first inning. Grounded left side. Nice play by Beltre. One. Not in time. So Rodriguez reaches on the fielder's choice. Now that does not extend his consecutive game streak. And Bernie Williams moves to third.
Out of the reach of Beltre. And the return throw. Actually, Beltre cuts over and does cut it off just before his tourist can get to it, but no chance of getting to.
So A-Rod's on first and Jason Giambi at the plate. Runners on the corners with 1 out. Yankees lead 1-0. Top of the third inning. A-Rod goes. The pitch is inside. No throw. Another stolen base for Alex Rodriguez. And that takes away a double play.
Now, you remember last night's play, Michael, the controversial play when Bob Brenly came out to argue? LaDuca could have done the same thing here that Posada did. Alex on the run, and as Giambi gets out of the way, he falls across to home plate. See right there, and LaDuca held up. If he went ahead and threw towards second, made contact with Giambi, he may have gotten the same interference call that Posada got last night. That would mean that Giambi would be called out. Alex would have to go back to first base. So it's always a good idea as a catcher do a little acting like Jorge did last night.
That's 12 stolen base for Alex Rodriguez. He's been caught just once. Maybe a catcher would be afraid he does that and the call's not made.
Well, it's worth a try. He had no chance to throw him out at second, so you might as well go ahead and do a little acting job.
That one is looped into right field. That is going to dunk in for a base hit. Birdie scores. Alex Rodriguez scores. It's a 2-run single for Jason Giambi, and the Yankees lead 3-0.
Well, again, it's not hit solidly, but it appeared to be a breaking ball, and it's up. And when you're as strong as Giambi is, you don't have to get all of it just to loop it out into right field. Not a well-hit ball, but it wasn't a pitcher's pitch.
Giambi with the 2 ribbies now has 30 on the season. And here's former Dodger Gary Sheffield. 1-0. And the count 2-0. Hair a little bit longer than he had with New York. And he obviously would not be allowed to have that goatee that he was still at the Yanks. Breaking ball strike.
Body language is still the same. He really doesn't give you the impression that he is happy with what he's doing on the mound and that he's in control of things.
Gary a little bit out in front, pops one up the center. His Torres makes the play. 2 away.
You know, even if you're not getting him out as a pitcher, if you get the ball, like John Lieber's a good example of that. Even when John gives up some hits, he's right on the mound. He's looking in at the catcher. He always gives the other team the impression that he's got some confidence in his stuff, that he's in control of what he's doing. And we have, just like all of last year, we've never really seen that much from Jeff Weaver.
Here's Posada, who doubled his last time up. Kevin Brown back with the ball club, and his back is feeling a lot better. Ground ball to second base, Cora. And that'll do it here in the third. But the Yankees take the lead. They score 3 runs on 4 hits. 1 man left on base. We go to the bottom of the third. It's 3-0 Bombers. Jam-packed Dodger Stadium, and it's 3-0 Yankees as we head to the bottom of the third. And when you think Dodgers, you think of Jackie Robinson, who broke the color line in 1947. The things that he went through and the way he excelled, just a credit to his race, a credit to the game of baseball. And number 42 is retired all around Major League Baseball. No one will ever wear it again. It's Jackie Robinson's number. And with the Yankees, it's grandfather because they retired after Mariano Rivera had it. Mariano Rivera will be the last Yankee to wear number 42.
I think Mo Vaughn was wearing 42. I don't know if anybody else is or not.
I think that's it. I think Jose Lima used to wear it, but he doesn't have it here with the Dodgers, obviously. So Weaver leads off, and the count is 0-2 against him. Along with Jim Cott, I'm Michael Kay, and you are watching Yankees baseball right here on the Yes Network. We thank you for joining us. Big viewership today, I'm sure, in Brooklyn and the Bronx. Yankees and the Dodgers on the field again together.
Ouch.
You know, you talk about great rivalries, and the Yankees and the Red Sox are always brought up, and you'll see Weaver fouls one off the inside of Posada's knee. Yankees and the Red Sox, Yankees and the Mets. But I think that a rivalry is probably greatest when what's at stake is greatest. And when the Yankees and the Dodgers met, that was it. It was for all the marbles. Yankees and the Red Sox would play for the right to get to the World Series, but that was the World Series. They don't play as often as the Yankees and the Red Sox, but it's still a great rivalry.
And in those days, it was prior to playoff baseball for the most part, when you had to win the pennant. There was only, when you talk about the postseason, there was just the Fall Classic, the World Series. There wasn't a division series, a championship series. It was just the World Series.
Ground ball right side and through for a base hit. So both pitchers have picked up base hits here in the third. Jeff Weaver leads off with a single.
For the Dodgers, left fielder Dave Roberts.
After getting ahead 0-2. Yeah, both pitchers showing they can help their team. Weaver takes a pitch outside, hits it sharply out of the reach of Cairo.
Now Jason Giambi wants to get the attention of Vasquez, and he tells him, I'm playing behind Weaver. And now he's going to play in front of Weaver to guard against the bunt by Roberts.
Glenn Hoffman, Dodger third base coach.
Managed here for just a little bit as an interim manager. And the brother of Trevor Hoffman of the Padres. Drag bunt is foul. Last time the Yankees and the Dodgers met in any game of import was in 1981, the World Series. Dodgers won that in 6 games. Yankees had won the first 2 games of the series, then lost the 3 here in Dodger Stadium, and then won Game 6 at Yankee Stadium. The last out recorded in center field to Ken Landreau. Willie Randolph, the Yankee bench coach, says he still has nightmares about that series, so we let that get away. He said it was a terrible season. It was a strike-shortened season. He said, and we got ahead, and we just never put them away. Popped up, third base side, and that's out of play. Yankees beat the Dodgers in 77 and 78. 77, that's the last out of 81. Steve Howe was the pitcher, and Tommy Lasorda the manager. And Tommy Lasorda, after losing in 77 and 78, said that before he would go to bed each night, he would pray to God. He said, God, please, if you see fit to put us in the World Series, make sure we play the Yankees, because if I win a World Series, I want it to be against the Yankees. And the baseball gods came through for him, and he got the chance and did it in 81. But 77's Yankee-Dodger series highlighted by Reggie's 3 home runs. And then in 78, the series turned on a potential double play ground ball, and Reggie kind of maneuvered his hip in the way of the throw. An argument ensued, and the call was not reversed. The Yankees won the game and the series. That one's laced into left center field. Bernie on the run. He'll put it away as Weaver goes back. In 77, Game 6, Reggie hit 3 home runs against 3 pitches thrown by 3 separate pitchers. And the final one was into the black against Charlie Huff. And boy, if he ever had to cement the nickname Mr. October, that day did it. There's a line drive base hit to right center field. Bernie cuts it off in the gap. Weaver will go to third, and hustling into second with a double is Cesar Izturis. Second double of the night. Well, we just get word that the Yankees have made a trade. They have traded left-hand pitcher Gabe White to the Cincinnati Reds for another left-handed pitcher by the name of Charlie Manning, as well as a player to be named later and cash considerations. Manning was pitching in Double-A in the Reds farm system. He was 4-4 with a 5.12. And he was actually originally selected by the Yankees in the 9th round of the 2001 first-year player draft. Here's Milton Bradley, grounded foul. And Manning was traded to the Reds along with Brandon Clausen for Aaron Boone. So Gabe White, who has struggled here with the Yankees, he's now gone. The Yankees still need another left-hander in the bullpen. I don't think it's going to be a Double-A pitcher by the name of Charlie Manning. That trade, though, does make room on the roster for Halsey, who's going to start tomorrow.
Right. Brad Halsey will pitch tomorrow, 23-year-old left-hander. Those of you not familiar with that, he's pitching for Columbus. Bucky Dent told Joe, likes his approach, aggressive, not afraid to throw it in the strike zone.
1-1. 1-2.
Here's where Vasquez, unlike a lot of other pitchers, can get out of jams. He got out of one earlier. You get him in a 1-2 count. Posada right now is out there asking, you know, what would you like to go with? Doug Edding's going to try to break it up because he's got 4 pitches that he could strike you out with.
Second and third, Yankees play the infield back. They'll give up a run on a ground ball. They lead 3-0. And now time is called again. They keep getting these beach balls that are let loose in the outfield, and it stops play. The way Bernie's hitting, all balls look like that to him. .38 pitches for Vasquez so far, 27 strikes. And another conference. Doug Edding's going to run out of patience. Crowd here at Dodger Stadium running out of patience.
Well, you change the signs of the man on second. Evidently, Vasquez and Jorge not on the same page with what signs they're using.
Two. Strike 3, inside corner. Bradley down looking. Big strikeout for Javi Vasquez.
Late movement. See the ball move back across the inside corner. A nice job of holding it there by Posada. See Bradley give a little ground, but that late movement took it right back across the corner.
Here's Sean Green.
You know, that's 3 beach balls. You know, and for a while it was traditional. You know, one time it's kind of humorous, but baseball's really made a concerted effort to pick up the pace of play, and the home team that's responsible for that. I'm surprised baseball doesn't order the Dodgers, say, you better get some security out there. And, you know, if that happens once, that's one thing, but there's no excuse for it time after time.
Fly ball, shallow right center. Bernie coming on, and he'll put it away for the final out of the inning. So Vasquez works out of a jam. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We go to the fourth. It's 3-0 Yankees. Well, we go to the top of the fourth inning, and we brought the Duck to L.A. It's time for the Aflac trivia question. Who is the only man in Major League history to wear all 4 New York uniforms? The Giants, the Dodgers, the Yankees, and the Mets. Now, I'm a little uncertain. Is it only in New York? It's only in New York because Darryl Strawberry would have been San Francisco Giants, LA Dodgers. So it's just Brooklyn and New York. Okay. That's the question, just to clarify. I'm sure the commissioner, Bud Selig, knows the answer to that. He's a huge baseball historian, and he is here. You do too?
Yeah.
I think I know. I'm not sure. I think I know.
He was a player for 2, and he was a coach. There's Ron Say, former Dodger third baseman, in the booth with Commissioner Bud Selig. Bud Selig, his son-in-law in the background, Laurel Preeb. They were in town today to open a baseball academy out in Compton. Sticking around for a few innings.
Matsui leads off. And there's a strike. You know, we talked so much about how Matsui owned interleague pitching last year. Well, he is 3 for his last 24. He's really struggled so far in the interleague series the Yankees have played. Fly ball left field. Giving chase is Beltre, who can't get there. Matsui flied to left in the second inning, so he's 0 for 1. And you know, when you ask Matsui about his success last year against the National League, he pretty much said it was a coincidence that he was about ready to get hot, and he got hot when they were playing in the National League cities. And what he's done so far would seem to indicate that he was right, because he has struggled. Last year, his hot streak started against the Cincinnati Reds at the Great American Ballpark. 1-2. 2-2.
And he's got some fans out here. I mean, not only in a Yankee uniform, but there's a Matsui uniform from his Tokyo days. The Giants.
Well, the Yankees' trip to Tokyo seems maybe 3 years ago. And it was only toward the end of March. He has not had a great June, Hideki. And there's a great breaking ball for strike. Matsui takes it, strike 3.
Best one Weaver's thrown tonight. That's the backdoor curve.
He throws one like that. Maybe that's why it's so seductive to keep throwing it. He wants that same sort of pitch every time, but he doesn't have that same snap on all of them.
But that's a pitch there he got by with the fact that it was in a perfect location and the element of surprise. It's still not a real good biting breaking ball. It's a tumbler. Best game Jeff Weaver pitched as a Yankee was just prior to the All-Star game last year against Toronto. And it was fastball changeup, fastball changeup. And then he started against Toronto right after the break. And I remember asking Mel Stottlemyre, you going to have him change or try to do the same thing? And he said, I told Jeff, don't change, do the same thing. And that game he threw a lot of breaking balls. And he got hit again. So, I mean, it's, we've seen enough of him last year to know that that's when he's most effective. See, there's a fourth one loose out there in the field.
But the interesting thing is that they're welcoming that because they sell beach balls at the concession stands.
Wow, that's stupid.
Up. Sean Green. 2 away.
You know, Major League Baseball goes around, and the hitters have been really good this year. They've made a conscious effort to tell the hitters, don't step out of the box. Be ready to hit. Be ready to play. It's not fair to the fans to, create all this dead time. So the fact that they actually sell beach balls here and would encourage that, that's not right. I mean, they want to bop them around the stands, fine.
Vasquez helped his own cause. He started the Yankees' 3-run rally in the third. Opened it up with a double. Soft ground ball is short is Torres. And that'll do it here in the fourth as Weaver works his first 1-2-3 inning of the game. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Yankees 3 and the Dodgers nothing. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning here at Dodger Stadium. Let's take a look at the Aflac trivia question and the answer. And the question was, the only major leaguer to wear all New York uniforms, Giants, Dodgers, Yankees, and the Mets. And it's Casey Stengel. Loduca fouls one back. There's the old professor.
Scooter.
Boy, did he ever run with the Yankees, Casey Stengel. And the weird part is when he got that Yankee job, they kind of looked at him as a clown.
Right.
And they didn't understand why the Yankees would hire Casey Stengel, but he turned out to be far from a clown. Trainer looking something over.
I don't know if it was Loduca's wrist. Got his wrists heavily taped up. And sometimes when hitters hold that bat over the knob and they swing and they don't make contact, they get a little almost like a hyperextension. See right?
That was awkward.
Yeah, that was painful. I don't know if his hand stuck to the bat, couldn't let it go.
Loduca had a very odd way that he learned how to play baseball. His mom used to take him in the backyard and throw pinto beans at him.
Pinto beans.
Ground ball is short. And she felt that if he could hit something as small as pinto beans, then a baseball wouldn't be a problem.
Not a bad idea. I'll tell you, Michael, you're not a golfer, but there's a golf. I don't want to call him a trick shot. It's just an amazing show. It's called Chuck the Hitman.
Right.
And he played minor league baseball, and he could throw the golf ball up and hit it with a driver like the guys on tour do off a tee. I mean, he's unbelievable. And he learned how to do that because in the minor leagues, he thought to become a better hitter, he'd try to hit BBs with a broomstick. So that's kind of like the pinto bean theory. I guess if you could hit that, you could hit a baseball with a bigger bat. You watch tomorrow, there'll be kids going out buying a couple of cases of BBs and some broomsticks, and 15 years he'll be leading the league in hitting.
That one is wrapped into right field and deep. Giving chase is Sheffield. He's going to have to play it up the base of the wall. Beltre goes for two. Here's a throw, and it's wide. Gets past Jeter, but A-Rod backing up. So Beltre's 2 for 2.
Yeah, I think they're going to start coming inside on him next go-around. Beltre's gotten 2 pitches out away from him. One for a single and that off the base of the wall for a double. Sheffield gives you a little idea of his strong throwing arm.
Here's Juan Encarnacion. The Dodgers have been waiting forever for Beltre to finally realize enormous potential. And unfortunately for them, he's finally having his breakout season, the final year of his contract, before he becomes a free agent. So they might not be the beneficiaries long-term of the player they always thought he was going to be. Foul back. Jim Tracy, a genial type. Talks to you. He always uses your name. Very, very polite. And he was in a win or else situation this year. And the Dodgers have surprised a lot of people because they are leading the National League West. They didn't think the Dodgers had enough hitting. And they also have a new owner here at the Dodgers, Frank McCourt. And the rumor is that Frank McCourt doesn't quite have the money to go out and get the hitter that this team needs. So far, they've done a good enough job just piecing together enough offense.
Well, if you look at the way baseball is set up these days, if you just win your division, and you could win the National League West by just being a few games over 500. And then if you get into postseason play, when you come at teams with a bullpen with Dreifert, Moda, and Gagne, some decent starting pitching in a short series, you could take it a long way without adding another hitter.
1-2.
Every time I hear a team that isn't scoring runs, that's the standings right there. You see the Padres just 3 games out, and they're only a game over 500. When a team says, oh, they got to add a hitter, about that time, as you look at their starting rotation, what they really need to add is another starting pitcher. Sitting next to ex-Yankee and ex-Met Robin Ventura.
I asked Ventura today, I said, well, you've played for 2 of the classic franchises now, the Yankees and the Dodgers. Which one's better? He said, Michael, which one's paying me now?
Yeah, right.
Well, they've changed the name of the Yankees here in Hollywood. 2-2. Check swing. Did he go? No, said Don Iasonia, the first base ump.
Pitching very carefully to Encarnacion. Good curveball. And he did well to hold up.
Three-two. Missed. He was careful with them. Runners on first and second, 1 out.
Because Javier has outstanding control, and even with a 3-run lead, he pitched to Encarnacion like he had first base open. He wasn't afraid to walk him, even though he had a left-hand hitter coming up next.
And he'll face Alex Cora. Alex, the younger brother of Joey Cora. Yankee fans remember him as a member of the Seattle Mariners. Nice pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Alex fly to center. His first time up tonight. 3-0 Yankees. We're in the bottom of the 4th here at Dodger Stadium.
Well, you look out over this place, and I mean, Yankee Stadium is a perfect setting. East Coast in the Bronx, and West Coast. You know, this is the place. Even, you know, it opened in 1962, but it's still just as clean and neat and fresh looking as it was 42 years ago.
And if you check out an overview shot of this ballpark, you can see that the shape of it is modeled after Yankee Stadium, that horseshoe shape.
When I played here in the early 60s, those seats behind home plate, you had dugout boxes. Now there's not as much foul territory, and they've increased the seating capacity and the choice seats a little bit right behind home plate.
One-two. Was this mound back in the 60s the dream mound that everybody made it out to be?
Wow. You know, because Koufax was here. I mean, you could get a nosebleed on it. It was up so high, and you could always have you could count on having a good curveball when you came out here. You know, the Angels played in Wrigley Field in '61, the old Los Angeles Angels, and then started playing here the year after that. There's Hall of Famer Don Drysdale. He didn't need the high mound. He threw the sinkers. But boy, you'd stand up on that Dodger Stadium mound back in the '60s and look down at the catcher. You really felt like king of the hill.
This is Koufax. No, Drysdale in his last out in 1963 against the Yankees. The late Don Drysdale. Ground ball to first. Jason Giambi goes to second, and it pulls Jeter off the bag. Everybody's safe. Time is called, and Joe Torre will go out and argue with Charlie Relaford, the second base ump. I was very surprised Giambi went to second.
Yeah,
he usually doesn't make that throw.
I'm sure every Yankee fan, when they saw that, held their breath, because Jason is very similar to an outstanding first baseman they had here, Steve Garvey. And you see Encarnacion looked like he got the hand in about the same time. Tough call. You see Derek try to reach for him and tag him, and Derek felt like he had him
This should tell.
before he got the foot in. But even at a play that close, I mean, Jason just has difficulty throwing the ball. And I don't think you can argue with Charlie Relaford on that one. Got his hand in about the same time as the tag.
So that's an E3. The bases are loaded for Jeff Weaver.
You know, when Steve Garvey played here, he was a Gold Glover, but everybody tried to bunt the ball to him because he had great hands, but he couldn't throw. And Jason is similar. He makes a lot of good plays, scooping balls out of the dirt, but he really has trouble throwing the ball.
And he usually doesn't attempt it. And with the pitcher due up next, he should have taken the out at first. The 3-6-3 double play is not his forte.
Well, it's an ongoing topic of discussion with the Yankees because Jason feels he's a better hitter when he's in the ball game and playing first base. But there's no question the Yankees are a better team in the field if Tony Clark is playing first base.
Well, Weaver becomes a very important batter now for Vasquez, and Weaver's not an automatic out. He's hitting .241 this year. Yet to drive in a run, though, but he did single his first time up. One-two. He struck him out on the breaking ball way out of the strike zone, 2 away.
Now batting, left fielder, Dave Roberts.
Well, you're right about the music here, Michael. I mean, I'm not a big fan even of the loud music at Yankee Stadium, but the music here, I mean, I think I'm back in Studio 54, except at a ballpark. This stuff is annoying.
I really don't feel like dancing with you right now.
Really?
Not
disappointed.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. And there's a strike. Roberts might be seeing some of his left field job slipping away. Jason Worth is going to play against left-handers, and Tracy's not calling it a strict platoon, but Roberts knows he has to produce big time to see some at-bats against some left-handers.
And they're two opposite type players. Roberts, a lot of speed, and Jason Worth, acquired from Toronto, has some big time power from the right-hand side of the plate.
So Roberts has worked the count to 1-1. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning. 3-0 Yankees. Dodgers threatening, bases loaded, 2 outs. Driven the other way and out of play. Well, now here in the bottom of the fourth inning, when I look around, it seems like everybody's here. So I guess they got through the traffic, made their way to Dodger Stadium. And he's going to love this game when he remembers it.
Javier Vasquez weathers this fourth inning. He's going to need a couple of clean innings. He has really made some tough pitches to get out of jams in 2 of the first 3. Now he's asked to do it again here in the fourth. And Mel Stottlemyre knows you can't, as a starting pitcher, you can't keep pitching out of jams inning after inning. About 3 a game is max.
And he's used to going a long way into the game. He averages 6.87 innings per start, which is the 6th best in the major leagues. He wants the ball and he wants to finish. 1-2. That one gets away from Posada. Here comes Beltre. He will score. Dodgers on the board. Yankees lead 3-1.
Changeup that hit just in front of the plate. Jorge got the glove down, but it hit off the heel of his glove. He wasn't able to soften the blow. And Beltre scores easily.
Now runners on second and third. The 2-2. Ground ball up the middle. That'll tie the game. Encarnacion scores. Cora scores. It's a 2-run single for Dave Roberts, and we are tied at 3.
Good at bat by Roberts, and I'll tell you, the Dodgers show you how they score their runs. They don't do it with the home runs. Take advantage of an error, keep making contact. And Roberts' reaction tying the game.
And not that it matters if you're a Yankee fan, but for bookkeeping purposes, all of these runs are unearned. If Giambi takes the out at first and then Weaver strikes out, inning's over and the Dodgers don't score. So the E3 looms very, very large. Now you can't place it all on Giambi because through the years the Yankees have a credo within the dugout. Somebody makes a mistake, you pick him up. And Javier Vasquez was not able to pick him up.
Yeah, he and Posada have not really been in sync for some reason tonight. And Javier has been as tentative as I've seen him against a club, you know, that doesn't have what you'd call a real potent lineup. But he's pitching very, very cautiously compared to what he usually does.
There's a strike to Asturias. 72 pitches for Vasquez, which is a lot for him here in the bottom of the fourth. 49 strikes. We told you Roberts has 21 stolen bases, and Vasquez is very difficult to steal on, so we'll see what wins out.
Yeah, this will be his biggest challenge, Vasquez, because if Torres has hit the ball well, they're going to go at him with the changeup. It's an easier pitch to steal on.
Grounded to Giambi. Smothers the ball, steps on first, and that will do it here in the fourth. 3 runs on 2 hits, 1 big error, 1 man left on base. We go to the fifth, it's 3-3.
I'm Fred Hickman. The studio update brought to you by Nissan and your Nissan dealer. Dramatic finish at shade between the Tigers and Mets. Bottom of the ninth, tied at 2 outs. And Mike Cameron ends it all with a big swing. The walk-off homer, the Mets win it 3-2. By the way, speaking of drama in the NBA, Phil Jackson has told the Lakers he will not return as their head coach. And Shaquille O'Neal has reportedly requested a trade. Michael?
Wow, and we thought everything was happening here at Dodger Stadium in L.A. Thank you, Fred. We go to the top of the 5th inning.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, but now Shaquille wants to be traded.
Basketball season's over.
Bernie Williams leads off and fouls it back. So a very odd bottom of the 4th inning. An inning that was extended by a poor choice by Jason Giambi trying to throw the ball to second base, pulled Jeter off the bag. And then the rest of the runs were unearned. All of the runs were unearned after that. Another strike, and the count 0-2.
You make a good point about the Yankees. You know, their philosophy is even though a guy makes an error, you know, you don't just put all the blame on him. You try to make up for it. And one of my former teammates, Camilo Pascual, outstanding Cubano, right-hand pitcher, little Cuban with the big curve. He told me he won 20 games in 61, I think, yeah, 61-62 with Twins teams that were not particularly great teams. But he said, I started becoming a winning pitcher when I quit giving up unearned runs. He said, you know, the team would make an error, and it's very easy to say, well, I ought to be out of the inning. And then he just dug in a little deeper and tried to overcome that.
And that's what the Dodgers do very well. They don't give up many unearned runs. In fact, they're second best in the big leagues at giving up unearned runs. Only the Cubs are better.
Yeah, which is unusual for a Dodger team, because back you look at the 81 team, the infield of Say, Russell, Lopes, and Garvey. Garvey was a Gold Glover, you know, catching the ball, but they were never known as a particularly good defensive team.
The Dodgers have given up 11 unearned runs, and the Cubs have given up 7. And when you don't score a lot, that's a very, very positive stat.
They lead the National League in 3 categories: batting average, earned run average, and least amount of unearned runs allowed. Actually, they're second now in earned run average. I guess maybe their bullpen is leading.
Shows you how stats can sometimes be skewed, because we just showed that first in batting average, but last in runs scored.
Yeah.
Check that. They're not last. They're 14th. There's 16 teams in the National League, 14 in the American. Count 2-2 on Bernie Williams. He's 2 for 2 today. 2 singles, 1 RBI, 1 run scored. Reggie Jackson here at the ballpark. High fly ball. Shallow center. Torres is there. 1 away. Reggie's getting over left knee surgery. Had it a couple of days ago, and he's on the leg right now. He said, I cannot believe how good it feels so quickly. He's explaining how to hit now in October.
Yep. He certainly has a right to explain that.
Yes, he does. The funny part about that, we talked earlier about the 1978 game where he stuck his hip out, and they didn't call obstruction or interference, and Tommy Lasorda said on center stage, he said, if that call is made correctly, the Dodgers win that World Series. And Reggie Jackson was asked on center stage about Lasorda's comment. He goes, he's full of hot air. They wouldn't have won that series. Great play by Astores. Gets up, throws, got him. Oh, he took a base hit away from Jeter.
Now we talked about the Dodgers fielding. They decided to show it off. What a play. Not just to get Leather on the ball, but get to his feet and make a strong enough throw to get Jeter running hard down the first baseline by a long stride. I'm sure when Derek hit that, he thought that's into left field.
Touchdown. Pitch to A-Rod is outside. Astores can pick it with anybody in baseball. And he plays in a huge media market like L.A., and not many people know it.
Yeah, now he's starting to hit.
Yep.
You're talking about that 77, 78. Willie having nightmares about 81. We really felt in Philadelphia, I was a part of those teams, that we had the best team in baseball those years and couldn't get by the Dodgers in a couple of tough playoff series.
Count 2-1. Well, Jeter's done that to some players, so
Yes, he has.
some payback for him now. High pop-up. Beltre in foul territory. And that'll do it. So Weaver has his team score him 3 runs and does exactly what you want a pitcher to do. Retires the side in order 1-2-3. The reason he was able to go 1-2-3, a great play by Cesar Astores, taking a base hit away from Jeter. 4.5, we're halfway through. Milton Bradley leads off the bottom of the 5th inning. Name Milton Bradley. A lot of people snicker because that is the name of the company that makes all those games. And Milton's dad was Milton Bradley Sr. And he said, I'm not sure if the company came before my dad or my dad's name before the company. But Milton's mom wanted no part of having her son named Milton Bradley. And she was estranged from her husband when Milton was born. And when she was out after giving birth, the husband slipped into the hospital and put the name down on the birth certificate because he always wanted a junior. So That's how they got Milton Bradley. Yeah, she was not thrilled when she came out of the anesthesia. Fly ball, shallow center, coming on Bernie, still coming, and he makes the play, 1 away.
Yeah, Javier Vasquez badly needs a 1-2-3 inning. Bernie perfectly timed it, makes a nice running catch. He's had to pitch out of jams the last 3 innings. And Weaver had a little breather in the 5th, and Vasquez needs to do the same to match him.
Here's Sean Green. And there's a strike. Green has never been the player with the Dodgers that he showed glimpses of with the Toronto Blue Jays. That's why the Dodgers gave him a 6-year, $84 million contract. He's never really lived up to the promise. Yeah, he's not a bad player, but they thought he was going to be an absolute superstar. He used to be a right fielder, now playing first base. The last 4 seasons with the Dodgers. He had a great year in 2001, and it's kind of dropped steadily since then. Strike 3, Green down looking, does not like the call.
Doug Eddings has been very consistent tonight. I mean, a home plate umpire You try to figure out early in the game, are they going to call it where the catcher catches it or where does it break around the plate? See, and Sean Green is arguing, saying, no way, that ball probably broke around the plate. But Eddings has been very consistent for both teams with the corner pitches for both pitchers.
Here's Paul LaDuca.
You try to find that out as a pitcher and catcher early in the game. And, you know, between innings, you say, hey, just, you know, throw it around that outside corner. And if the catcher could frame it, we're going to get the call. Every umpire is different.
Right in on the hands of LaDuca, and the count 1-2. It's a 3-3 game. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. First of 3 between the Yankees and the Dodgers, longtime rivals. First time they're playing in the regular season. 11 times they met in the World Series, Yankees winning 8 of them.
I guess my favorite Dodger-Yankee confrontation of all time would be the at-bat Bob Welch against Reggie Jackson. That was unforgettable.
Pumping fastball after fastball.
Wow.
And the first time he struck him out, then later in the series, Reggie got him, I believe, for a home run. Three-two. Lofted to right field. Sheffield is there. And Vasquez got just what Jim Cott ordered, a 1-2-3 inning. We head to the 6th here at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, California. It's the Yankees 3, the Dodgers 3. You are watching Yes.
Tuesday, Jeter and the Yankees look to feast on the birds again. Join the Yes Network team for complete coverage Tuesday starting at 6:30, only on New York's most watched regional sports network, Yes.
Well, this was a natural. Last inning, Cesar Astores made a play on Derek Jeter that serves a closer look.
Worth a closer look and another look. Took a hit away from Derek Jeter. He has been some player for the Dodgers. A couple of hits and a great play.
And that was one of the few balls that he will toss away. The closer look replay brought to you by Samsung. Giambi leads off the 6th inning against Jeff Weaver. The Dodger Dogs, those are big here. They are grilled. One year, I think they decided to cook them in water, and it was an uproar.
Really?
Yeah, they went back to the grill.
on the grill.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason was just about grilled that pitch. That's where the ooh came from. I mentioned coming into the game, 7 hits, 5 home runs, and that one he was right on it. Fouled it straight back.
You know, we talked earlier about the 1965 series when the Dodgers met the Twins and Sandy Koufax hooked up against Jim Cott. And the first time they hooked up in that series was in Game 2. Now, the reason that Koufax didn't pitch in Game 1 was because it fell on a Jewish holiday of Yom Kippur. So to observe the holiday, he did not go to the ballpark. And they started Don Drysdale instead. And Don Drysdale really got hit hard against the Twins in Game 1. And Walter Alston came out to get the ball. And to break up the tension, Don Drysdale said, "Bet you wish I was Jewish today."
That was a great line.
Hit sharply foul. Dodgers have a lot of history. They really do. And I think the Dodgers and the Yankees, hands down, have the best looking home uniforms in baseball.
Yeah. It's a shame they're still not in Brooklyn.
Oh, that would be unbelievable.
Man.
Strike 3. John B. down looking.
Well, I think he just froze him, and I believe that might be the first time that Jeff Weaver's thrown him a change. I think that was a changeup. Unless it was just a good fastball, but whatever it was, it froze Jason.
Here's Sheffield. Now, Jim mentioned wish they were still in Brooklyn. Last year they played in Brooklyn was 1957. And they left because they couldn't get a new ballpark. They really wanted what became Shea Stadium. And Jim, if you ever talk to older people from Brooklyn, the hurt is still not gone away.
Oh, I know.
I mean, the Dodgers were like family to people in Brooklyn.
Talked to the guys that played there when Zim was still with the Yankees, and I got to know Pee Wee Reese. I was at Pee Wee's induction as well as Don Drysdale's induction. And Koufax even played there in 55. We talked to, they were part of the community.
And not only did the Dodgers go, but in order to have a team in California, they needed two teams for travel purposes. So Walter O'Malley got Horace Stone of the Giants to take the Giants to San Francisco. I think the Dodgers got the better deal.
I think so.
All this real estate in downtown Los Angeles, built this ballpark. They own the ballpark.
I think they got all this property here for $1. Not a bad investment.
Sheffield's 0 for 2. Some of the many palm trees around Dodger Stadium. The 2-2. That one is laced into center field. That's going to dunk in there for a base hit. So a one-out single for Gary Sheffield.
Gary Sheffield has the ability to do this unlike any other hitter. Check his bat, how level it's going to be right there. You know, most hitters, when they get a pitch down there, they swing down on it, and they end up hitting a fly ball. But we've seen Gary get a couple of game winners on pitches like that. There's the side look. He goes down, and he keeps the bat low and level through the ball. So instead of popping it up, it's a semi-line drive.
So Sheffield's on first, and here's Posada. 1-0. Through a game, we're in the top of the 6th. And the count 3-0. Do they green light Posada? Probably do.
Jorge's had the green light before. He hasn't offered that a lot of them. We talked about this with Bobby Mercer. Some hitters don't feel comfortable swinging at 3-0 because they get a little over anxious, swing too hard.
Didn't have a choice. That was way outside. So Posada walks. Runners on first and second with 1 out. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written
Outfielder,
consent of the aforementioned New York
Matsui.
Yankees. As in Arizona, right here in L.A., a lot of Yankee fans and some well-known Yankee fans. Billy Crystal, part of the crowd at Dodger Stadium.
I don't know if Weaver called Colburn out of the dugout, whether he hurt himself in that last pitch. Always has brought the stars out here. We showed Fernando Valenzuela throwing out the first pitch. There's Penny Marshall, big-time Yankee fan, visited with Susan Waldman on the pregame show. But when Fernando Mania was in full bloom here, boy, it was Fernando. It was some show for the stars to come out every time you came here.
Well, they break up the conference at home plate.
One of the big Hollywood stars that was a Dodger fan, of course, was Doris Day back in the 60s when the Dodgers had those great teams.
All the fans here locked into this game. 3-3, top of the sixth. Runners on first and second with one out. Matsui at the plate. Breaking ball for a strike. Oh, 2. Matsui flied to left and struck out so far tonight. They can't come to an agreement.
Yeah, this is a National League game, interleague game in a National League Park with an American League pace. Weaver looked really working slowly.
Grounded foul.
Tied after 5, and both these teams, I mean, it's like the 6th inning. You could almost, both managers feel like it's the 9th. The Dodgers, when they come at you with Dreifert and Moda, and of course Gagne has got one of the most unbelievable streaks in all of baseball, and the Yankees can answer that with a good bullpen of their own.
Gagne has saved 79 straight games, and he has not had a blown save since August 28th of 2002 against the Diamondbacks. He did blow a save in last year's All-Star game, but although that time it counted, the blown save didn't. And Blaylock hit a home run against Gagne to win the game for the American League and give the Yankees home field advantage in last year's World Series. There's Darren Dreifert warming up right now.
Yankees prize pick out of the draft. Oh, it must be going on 8 or 9 years ago now, out of Wichita State.
Injuries have derailed his express train to greatness. Used to start, now working out of the pen. Looks like Jim has lost a feather. Rounded to first. Sean Green thought about second, now flips to Weaver for the second out as the runners move up.
Well, when you see plays like this, we saw it earlier with Giambi, you really appreciate what the Yankees had for years with Don Mattingly and then Tino Martinez. I mean, there's a ball you figure with an experienced first baseman, you might get out of there with a 3-6-3 double play. And, you know, they don't show up in the box score, the fielding percentages, but you give a team an extra out, and a pesky little hitter like Cairo, who he's been about as, they're going to, that's right, National League rules, they're going to walk him and let Vasquez swing the bat.
Never asked you this. You think they should just allow them to say take first base, or you want them to throw the pitches?
Just hit him with the first pitch. You know, there is enough. A pitcher really ought to practice doing this because it's not automatic. We've seen, I think we saw Roger Clemens a couple years ago throw one back to the screens. Or you could just go to your mouth 3-4 times and they'll call that a ball.
So Cairo is intentionally walked. Yankees have the bases loaded now for Javier Vasquez.
For the Yankees, pitcher Javier Vasquez.
Vasquez doubled to right center in the third and then grounded to short in the fourth. Sheffield's at third, Posada at second, and Miguel Cairo over at first. Game is tied at 3. Vasquez can help his own cause right here.
I know he's a pretty good hitter for a pitcher, but I'd make him throw a strike right here. Put a little extra pressure on the pitcher. It's his 100th pitch of the night.
There's a strike. Vasquez tried to duck under it and by a ball. 4 pitchers, only 4 pitchers had more hits than Vasquez did during his 6 National League seasons from '98 to 2003. So he's not an automatic out. Hit sharply to the second baseman, Cora, who snares it for the final out of the inning. So Vasquez didn't just roll over, he hit a line drive, but caught. No runs to hit. The bases are left loaded. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 3-3. As part of Samsung's 4 Seasons of Hope, Samsung and Circuit City have teamed up to help end the cycle of domestic violence and save lives. For every home run a Yankees player hits at Yankee Stadium, Circuit City is going to donate $1,000 to the Joe Torre Safe at Home Foundation. Now, for more information, all you have to do is log on to fourseasonsofhope.com. Jeff Weaver works out of a bases-loaded jam in the top of the 6th inning. Now we'll watch as his team comes to the plate. In the bottom of the 6th, Adrian Beltre, who's 2 for 2 against Vasquez, will lead it off.
Jeff is due up 4th. And Dryford getting ready in the bullpen. And even if the Dodgers go in order, Jim Tracy might go to his bullpen.
The 2-0, right back up the middle, and through for a base hit. Beltre is 3 for 3.
Vasquez tries for a skate save. All 3 times they've gone away from Beltre, and all 3 times he's hit it to right and then up the middle. Obviously, he can get those arms extended and hit that pitch away from him.
That one gets past Posada, so Beltre is in scoring position. Makes a big turn at second, but he'll stop.
boy. Like Javi just hung on to that. It was going to be a changeup, and he hung on to it. There's the big turn by Beltre.
Now Encarnacion would like to hit the ball to the right side, either in the air or on the ground. Moves the runner to third. And a strike. .90 pitches for Vasquez. Weaver's over 100. One. Another one gets away from Posada. That is the third wild pitch of the night.
I was looking at the matchups with Vasquez and Encarnacion, and it doesn't jump out at you. He's 4 for 14. But, boy, Vasquez is pitching him like there's some past history that he does not want to throw the ball over to him. I mean, these aren't even close. Posada tries to move out and block it, and you really don't anticipate Vasquez missing the target by that much. He's usually pretty comfortable to catch.
Yankees have to bring the infield in. Go ahead, run at third. Count 2-2.
Looking down toward the 9-hole, the Yankees might be looking at their former teammate Robin Ventura. The two-out situation would come up with the pitcher due up.
Robin's getting ready. Check swing. Did he go? No, said Dan Iasonia.
Encarnacion's done a good job. That's 2 of those pitches on 2-2 that Vasquez has tried to get him to bite on the curveball. Hasn't worked. Mel to the telephone. Might be a quick call for Heredia to get up in case Ventura comes up. If he joined us late, of course, Gabe White traded to the Reds just prior to game time.
Line drive, base hit. And that'll score a run. Hit so hard it goes all the way to the wall. Encarnacion stops at second with an RBI double, and the Dodgers have taken a 4-3 lead.
Sixth RBI of the year for Encarnacion. He's found a nice home here in right field for the Dodgers. Down and in, right-hand hitter's favorite pitch. It's set so sharply that Alex Rodriguez can barely react. Matsui plays it out of the corner. Dodgers have a lead and another runner in scoring position.
So the Yankees, who had a 3-0 lead, gave up 3 unearned runs in the 4th. And now a run here in the 6th, helped by 2 wild pitches and the Encarnacion double. And the Dodgers are up 4-3.
Second baseman, Alex Cora.
So Jeff Weaver now eligible for a win if his bullpen can hold on. Here's Alex Cora. They're in at the corners, back at shortstop and second. Encarnacion leads off second. And Cora bunts. A beauty. Vasquez slips, fires. And it gets away from Cairo. Here comes Encarnacion. He'll score. Dodgers up 5-3. And that play was made when Vasquez lost his footing.
Nice bunt by Cora. Posada pointing to first. As Michael said, Vasquez couldn't get the back foot planted. And Cairo unable to come up with a throw, and the Dodgers get another run.
Dodgers will now send up Jason Grabowski. Joe Torre was waiting until the left-handed hitter was announced. And now he will call on Felix Heredia. Now, how is that scored? Have they scored it yet? It had to be an error of some sort. E1 all the way.
No sacrifice?
A base hit and an error one. Very generous scoring. He was sacrificing. So that'll do it for Javier Vasquez. Not one of his better starts. Felix Heredia makes his way in. Stay right where you are. Well, Javier Vasquez will have to watch the rest of this game from the bench as Joe Torre makes the singular call to the bullpen. Singular, the wireless company that fits you best. Runner on first base, 2 runs already in. Dodgers lead 5-3 in the bottom of the 6th inning. And Jason Grabowski against Felix Heredia.
Saw Felix's line. A lot of hits, a lot of base runners. And instead of Ventura, they go to Grabowski. Nobody out. And Jim Tracy has the option here. But another runner into scoring position. It's probably the least effect. I think I'd want to use the word positive. Vasquez just did not look positive tonight, like he was in control like he normally does. Just and those at-bats to Encarnacion really magnified that. I have not seen him in a game this year pitch like he was afraid to throw the ball over the plate to a hitter. But to Encarnacion, the time before that, he did the same thing. And just not one of Javi's better nights.
Looked very tentative. Heredia now has to really step forward and be that Yankee lefty to get out lefties. Gabe White's been traded back to the Reds. And he's the lefty matchup guy out of the bullpen now. And that one is hit deep to right field. Going back is Sheffield. He's on the track in front of the wall. He'll make the play for the first out of the inning as Cora heads back to first.
Not a bad pitcher's ballpark.
Left fielder, Dave.
This damp air. I mean, that ball sounded pretty good coming off the bat. A couple of Dodger fans are hoping it gets to the over the fence, and Sheffield catches it in the corner.
Long way down that line. 330 then juts out to 360. That's a long way compared to Yankee Stadium.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned coming into this game, both of these teams in leading their division, and the Yankees are the best record in baseball. When they score 5 runs, they just don't lose very often. The Yankees have the best winning percentage in all of baseball. They're 31-3.
Roberts grounds one to second. Cairo will go to second to get the force.
The Dodgers don't score 5 runs as often. They've done it 28 times, but they've won 25 of those. And what does that tell you? It tells you that you got a good bullpen.
Shortstop.
They have not lost a game when they've had the lead after 7 this year. And now they're going to come on with Dreifert in the 7th, Moda in the 8th if necessary. And if it stays like this, it would be a save situation. We'd see the remarkable Eric Gagne in the 9th inning.
Keeping Roberts close. So is Turris, a switch hitter, will spin around to the right side against the lefty Heredia. Is Turris 2 for 3 against Vasquez. 2 doubles.
Be interesting to see, Michael, the last 3 innings of this game. Dodger fans have always been famous for heading for the freeways in the 7th inning. And tonight's game with them in the lead, and we talked about their bullpen, and the Yankees are the most dangerous team in the late innings, any team in baseball. Their comeback wins. That's when you're probably going to see all the action.
It's amazing. They're really not getting a bang for their buck because they show up after the 2nd and leave at the 7th, so they see 5 innings of baseball.
Well, they've done a lot of things different here at the stadium, including the extremely deafening music that maybe the fans have changed as well. Maybe they're going to stick around. We'll see.
They just threw a Yankee cap out of the bleachers in left field that's lying on the warning track in left center. The umpires haven't seen it. There was a huge brawl out there where I was watching. I guess it was a Dodger cap. Yankee fans got into a brawl and took the cap off the guy's head and flung it onto the warning track. Seen 3 brawls here tonight. I thought it was supposed to be so laid back.
Times are changing.
2-2. Roberts thought about going. Posada's had some trouble. Some of those pitches were really bad pitches, but he usually blocks those. Popped up, foul territory. First base side, long run. No one gets there.
Giambi giving chase. Can't catch up with it. No chance for Cairo.
That one's playable. Sheffield will put it away for the final out of the 6th, but the Dodgers take the lead. 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 wild pitches, 1 error, 1 man left. We go to the 7th, 5-3 Dodgers.
It's located across the mile 21 on the reserve level.
Well, we go to the 7th inning, and the Dodgers have a 5-3 lead, and they will turn over the ball game to Darren Dreifert. Jeff Weaver is on the winning side of a 5-3 Dodger lead. 5-9-0 for the Dodgers and 3-7-2 for the Yankees. Dodgers with 2 runs in the 6th inning break a 3-3 tie, and now the Yankees have to climb from behind. Certainly no strangers to that as they lead the major leagues and come from behind victories.
About the only downside to Dreifert's year so far has been control. I mean, he doesn't give up a lot of hits. He strikes out well over a man per inning, but he does have a high walk total.
Bernie Williams fouls one back.
1993, he was the 2nd player overall picked in the amateur draft out of Wichita State, where he was not only their most valuable pitcher, but an outstanding hitter as well. There's the line. You see the 19 walks, 34 strikeouts.
Bernie is 2 for 3. So the top of the Yankee order against Dreifert. Dreifert could have been a Met He was the number 11 pick in the June 1990 draft, but he chose Wichita State over an offer of $35,000. Two-two. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Bernie down on strikes.
Good sharp breaking ball.
For the Yankees.
And Bernie couldn't hold up.
Derek Jeter.
Dryford's had 2 separate Tommy John surgeries. We hear so much about how people are devastated when they get the prognosis the first time. But then when you get diagnosed again that you have to have it, well, how do you deal with it? Because the rehab is so extensive.
Well, the way the Dodgers have used him, he's in his 32nd game rather, and he's only pitched 27 innings. So they limit him to situations like this where he'll just pitch 1 inning and then they'll call on Mota.
Grounded to short is Turris.
Batting next, third baseman, Alex
Dryford
Rodriguez.
has a tremendous amount of energy. Watch how he backs up first base on a ground ball to short.
That's an old college, I shouldn't say old, but that's a lot of the college coaches train their pitchers to do that.
You think that's a good idea, Jim?
No.
Takes a lot out of their legs for no reason.
Well, it's not that it takes a lot out, but I've seen too many times where a pitcher's going over there and there's a near collision with the runner running down the first baseline, and it really is counterproductive. I don't see any way that a pitcher could run and get all the way behind first base on an overthrow anyway.
A-Rod's 0 for 3. He is yet to reach base. He has 53 consecutive games riding. And there's a strike. Count 0-2. If he doesn't get on here, Yankees have to get a couple of guys on in the next 2 innings for him to get another at bat.
And then he'll have to do it against Eric Gagne.
And Tracy is not shy about using Gagne for more than an inning. He will bring him in with a couple of guys on base in the 8th if he feels that's when the game needs to be saved. Well, his streak is double the next closest. More than double. And he strikes out. LaDuca gets an angle. And a nice scoop by Green for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning for Dryford and the Dodgers. The end of 6 1/2. We take a look at the City of Angels. Get up and stretch. 5-3 Dodgers.
I'm Fred Hickman. A studio update brought to you by your Tri-State Quality Ford store. Wildwood in San Francisco, Red Sox, Giants. That's Kevin Millar going yard in the top of the 5th. It was 7-6. That made it 9-7. That's where they stand in the bottom of the 7th. A 7-run 5th for Boston, guys.
Bradley.
Well, thank you, Fred. As we go to the bottom of the 7th inning here at Dodger Stadium, Yankees trail 5-3. Milton Bradley will lead off. Dodgers got Bradley at the end of spring training this year. He did not run out a fly ball, and Eric Wedge, the Indian manager, had seen enough. Said, that's it, we're done with you. He showed up at the ballpark the next day. Mark Shapiro, their GM, said, don't even come here, we're trading you. And they took bids from teams, and the Dodgers got Milton Bradley. They say he's a very sullen guy. Wedge had felt that he was a little difficult to manage. But so far, he's done a pretty good job here with the Dodgers. He has a world of talent. There's a strike.
Never know. Eventually, a guy gets in the right situation with the management, ballpark, city, whatever. Boy, and this has got to be frustrating for the Yankees, for Joe Torre. They just made the trade before the game. If you missed it, they traded Gabe White to the Cincinnati Reds for a minor league pitcher, Charlie Manning, who actually was a part of the Yankee organization last year. And hanging on to Heredia because they think his stuff is better, but he just does not throw the ball over the plate consistently. Too many base runners.
Here's Sean Green. Green tonight is 0 for 3. He has a 7-game hitting streak working.
Speaking of streaks, Michael, one of the more amazing streaks in baseball is the city we just left, Phoenix. Tampa Bay. Lou Piniella and his Devil Rays go in there tonight, facing Randy Johnson to try to keep their winning streak alive, and they're 1 out away. They lead them 6-2 in the 9th inning.
That would be their 9th straight win, and they have moved into 3rd place in the American League East. Runner goes. There's a strike. The throw to second is not in time.
Good jump. As soon as Heredia picked up his leg, Bradley was off and running and was able to keep his foot on the bag after the slide.
Bradley's 6th stolen base of the year. And a nice job by Green pulling the ball and moving Bradley to 3rd. I have a stat, Jim, that's going to shock you. All right, the crowd tonight is 55,307. Now, you know what's going to shock you?
What?
That's the largest crowd regular season in the history of Dodger Stadium.
Really?
Can you believe that?
No. Wow. I mean, it's a sellout. They've never had a sellout before, and actually they added a couple extra seats. Well,
yes,
you know,
they jammed it into every nook and
they
cranny.
have those extra seats around home plate now. I don't know how long they've been there.
Well, the Yankees have to bring the infield in. They want to cut this run off. Drive, base hit. That'll score a run. Milton Bradley scores, and the Dodgers manufacture an insurance run. They lead the Yankees now 6-3.
Well, these guys just play baseball. I mean, they get on, they steal, they move the man over. LaDuca, another one of those favorite pitches, left-hand pitcher, right-hand hitter, down and in the strike zone. Easiest pitch to get the barrel on.
And Beltre will step in. LaDuca on first. Foul back. 1965 at this time, something special happened in this ballpark. Listen to Vince Scully call it.
9:46 p.m. 2-2 to Harvey Keene. One strike away. Sandy into his windup. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. A perfect game.
Exactly at this time in 1965. There's the man who did it, still behind the mic, Vince Scully. Some things don't change, and that's a good thing. 1-1. Hit deep to center field. Bernie Williams giving chase. He's on the run. He's on the track, and he makes the play in front of the wall for the second out of the inning.
Batting practice, you see some of these balls go out. I was watching the Yankees take batting practice tonight, but then when that sun goes down and it cools off, it becomes a pitcher's ballpark.
Pitch to Encarnacion is a strike. 6-3 Dodgers lead. We're in the bottom of the seventh inning. Deep to third. Rodriguez backs up. Will take it the short way, and that'll do it here in the seventh. But a big insurance run for the Dodgers. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We have played 7 innings at Dodger Stadium in L.A. It's the Dodgers 6, the Yankees 3. You're watching the Yankees right here on Yes. While we go to the 8th inning, let's take a look at the Yankee in-game box score, which is sponsored by your Tri-State Lincoln Mercury dealer. Yankees have pieced together 7 hits against 2 Dodger pitchers. Bernie Williams with 2, and the rest sprinkled liberally throughout the lineup. Jeter, Giambi, Sheffield, Posada, and Javier Vasquez had a double and a run scored. Jason Giambi with a 2-run single. So far, the Dodgers are knocking out the Yankees. They lead 6-3 here as we head to the top of the 8th inning, and a new pitcher will come on. They use a formula. Dreifert in the 7th, Mota in the 8th, and then if it's a save situation, Gagne in the 9th.
I see where you're going there with a knockout.
Thank you.
Just punched him out. Very nice. And about as good a setup man as you could have as you see the numbers. A little more than a strikeout an inning. 30 games, 36 innings, so he is capable of pitching, 4 or 5 outs if you need him, but with Gagne, you don't often need it.
Matsui has some fans here at Dodger Stadium, and a Dodger fan as well. Confused. Pitch is high to Giambi. Now, Met fans might know Guillermo Mota. In spring training of 2002, he hit Mike Piazza with a pitch, and as they were walking off the field, after the inning was over, Piazza grabbed him by the collar. He was teased about it incessantly back home and also by his teammates, and then spring training of 2003, he drilled Piazza again. Piazza chased him all around the infield. Mota backpedaled and ran into the dugout and into the clubhouse. So he's got a little bit of a reputation as a guy who's not afraid to throw the ball at people. Scott Strickland, who used to be a teammate of Mota's in Montreal, said he wasn't surprised by the Piazza incident because he said, quote, he's kind of a punk. He said that Mota is not a model citizen and he's not a model teammate. But he's been a model setup man for the Dodgers this year.
Say, get a guy in a different situation.
Throw a fastball by Giambi upstairs, one away.
Right fielder, Gary Sheffield.
Country hardball, best pitch in the game.
Here's Sheffield. Yankees down 6-3. And there's a strike.
It's an example when you talk about Mota in his past and see Gary Sheffield step in the box. Same thing with Sheffield. Early in his career, he did not have a good reputation as being a good teammate, but you talk to guys in Atlanta and now here in Yankee land why he's matured and he's a terrific teammate.
Popped up behind the plate, third base side. LaDuca runs out of room. A couple of years ago, that's an out. But they added all those extra seats. That's how many rows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10 rows of seats.
Boy, that's quick math. You can see you and Vinny both coming out of Fordham.
Dodgers 6-10-0. Yankees 3-7-2. Yankees led 3-0 after 3. As Sheffield goes down swinging. So Dreifert and Mota have struck out 4 of the 5 Yankees they faced.
And he does it with a little flair. It's like Mota has an outstanding fastball and a good changeup. You see the bottom fall out of that one.
Posada digs in.
You'd think he would have been a shortstop. He comes from San Pedro de Macorís in the Dominican Republic, and for a long time that's always been known as the shortstop factory.
Well, we're seeing a classic example of how the Dodgers win games. They don't hit home runs. They hope to get 6 innings out of their starters. They play small ball, and then they turn it over to a bullpen that's very, very good.
They don't play Enter Sandman here like they do for Mariano, but boy, as soon as Gagne takes the wraps off and starts warming up, you could feel the buzz at Dodger Stadium. And unlike past years when I've been here, most of these fans are sticking around. A few cars moving out.
Well, Gagne's theme song is Welcome to the Jungle from Guns N' Roses. He won the Cy Young last year, and that was the soundtrack to the year. And Mota strikes out the side. An impressive 8th inning by Guillermo Mota. Yankees go down in order. And the 2 Dodger relief pitchers have struck out 5 of the 6 Yankees. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 6-3 Dodgers. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll take a look at the Dodgers in-game box score, which is sponsored by your Tri-State Lincoln Mercury dealer. Dodgers have 10 hits, 3 by Beltre, 2 by Izturis, as well as a really great play in the field by Asturias. 2 RBIs by Dave Roberts, and Encarnacion picked up a ribby as well. And Alex Cora scored a run, and he leads off against a new Yankee pitcher, Paul Quantrill. He fouls it off into the Dodger dugout, 0-1. Along with Jim Cotta, I'm Michael Kay, and you are watching Yankees baseball right here on the Yes Network. Yankees are trailing 6-3, and Quantrill is pitching in his 35th game. Former Dodger, and he was a free agent at the end of the 2003 season, signed by the Yankees.
Get a look at Eric Gagne, who was on one of the, you start talking all-time streaks and records and tough things to do.
Cora down on strikes.
Joe D's 56-game hitting streak has not been broken, so you know how tough that is. The longest streak after Eric Gagne is the Yankees setup man now, Tom Gordon, 54. Go back in time. When you think about the number of things that can happen if you come in a one-run game, an error, a broken bat, anything would count as a blown save. It's Robin Ventura. But to 79 straight times to not fail, that is unbelievable.
Ventura pinch hitting for Mota.
It's Wilson Alvarez, the veteran left-hander, who's also become an effective part of the Dodger bullpen. Yankee career.
Ground ball up the middle and a base hit for Ventura. Pinch hit single. Robin Ventura, a very, very likable guy, a good teammate. The Yankees really enjoyed his time in pinstripes. He did as well, but they traded him when they acquired Aaron Boone. And they got 2 pretty decent players, Bubba Crosby and Scott Proctor, for Robin Ventura. Now back to the top of the lineup, and Dave Roberts. There's a strike by Quantrill. Lace to left field, Matsui right there. He'll put it away.
Now batting, shortstop, Cesar Izturis.
Here's Cesar Izturis. Izturis is 2 for 4. I think a lot of people in this crowd are rooting for Izturis not to get an RBI double or something like that, because they want to see Gagne.
I do too. Yankee hitters don't. Yeah, I know Raleigh Fingers, I think, and maybe Dennis Eckersley said they were not that impressed with Gagne's streak because, you come in with a 3-run lead and pitch 1 inning. And sure, tonight's game is like that, but 79 times, you're going to have a lot of 1-run leads.
Well, we will see Gagne. That's a pop-up to Cairo. And he puts it away for the final out of the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. We go to the 9th. Last licks for the Yankees. Dodgers lead 6-3, and the Yankees will see Eric Gagne. Eric Gagne will try to close it out. This is what it sounds like when he comes in. certainly made Dodger fans learn to stay around till the end of the game. And Gagne will deal to Matsui, who bloops one over the head of Historis on a broken bat single to open up the ninth inning. Well, this is a great matchup. Gagne has saved 79 straight games, and the Yankees have come back 27 times this year, leading the major leagues in that category. Can they do it against Gagne and break a streak? That is the longest streak in baseball history. Now, Kitty mentioned before some of the old-time relievers don't think it's as impressive as people say.
Number 12.
But Mariano Rivera says it's amazing.
Oh, I think it is, too. I mean, first of all, can you imagine the rush if you were in Eric Gagne's uniform to come running out of that bullpen and hear the crowd and the music and know all the pressure? You know, they battled for 8 innings and turn it over to you, and 79 straight times you have not failed.
Kenny Lofton pinch hits for Cairo, and there's a strike.
And the way he does it is an outstanding fastball with good control, and he'll mix in an occasional changeup.
Had a 1.20 ERA last year, the lowest ever amongst major league pitchers with 75 or more appearances. That's a chopper to second base. They're going to get the out at second, which didn't make much sense. One away. That run really meant nothing. Could have thrown it away.
And there's an example of what we were talking about. A little bit of a risky play. If he throws that away, and all of a sudden the Yankees got a couple men on, they bloop one in, I mean, you tie the game. So to think of the record that he's got, the streak that he's got, I mean, this is going to go down as one of the all-time great streaks. I don't know how long it's going to last. There's the play from Cora to Asuris.
Ruben Sierra will pinch hit now for Paul Quantrill. Well, that's pretty much what Rivera said, Jim. He said all the variables that can go wrong, the little things that could happen, a broken bat single, anything that could cause a save to be blown. It's amazing that he's done it 79 in a row. Lofton takes off. He'll steal second. But they give it defensive indifference.
I had a chance for a brief period of time to pitch out of the bullpen and be a closer for the Cardinals. And would never think of, putting myself in the class with Gossage or any of those great guys. But just being able to be out there in the ninth inning and know what it's like to try to close out a game and then think you've done that 79 times in a row, I find that just phenomenal. Unbelievable.
The only save that he's blown in that stretch of time happened to be in last year's All-Star game. He gave up a home run to Hank Blaylock. Now, during his streak of 79 straight saves, the tying run has reached third base only once. And that was against the Diamondbacks September 18th of last year. You see what he's done this season.
22 base runners in 28 in the third innings. What a great combination of power and control.
Soft ground ball to second base. Cora. 2 away as Lofton moves to third. Yankees have 1 out left.
In the open, Michael, I said every fan sticking around would like to see Gagne face Alex Rodriguez. So if the Yankees get their couple of bloops here, they'll get to see Alex. If Alex comes up, he's going to be representing the lead run. The odds are pretty slim that that'll happen.
The largest crowd in Dodger Stadium history in the regular season, most of them on their feet. And there's a strike to Bernie Williams. The first of 3 games between these longtime rivals, each of the games sold out here at Dodger Stadium. You can see he's a little bit superstitious. He keeps that sweat-stained hat from the beginning of the season right till the end. Gets pretty gamey toward the end of the year.
It's like Ryan Duran with control.
Blew that one by Bernie upstairs, and the count now 1-2. Yankees down to their last strike. Dodgers win 6-3. Gagne saves his 80th straight game. And Los Angeles takes the first game of this 3-game set.
Pretty simple formula for Jim Tracy. Peck away, get a few singles, score a run here or there, turn it over to Dreifert, Moda, and then the best in the business right now, Eric Gagne.
Well, the Yankees were hoping they weren't in a position to break that streak. They were tonight. They couldn't get it done. A happy Jim Tracy. And the Dodgers in first place in the National League West will hold on to that designation for a couple more days at least as they beat the Yankees here on a Friday night in Los Angeles. Gagne's streak remains, will remain too. We're going to break down this game, give out the awards right here on Yes.